Okay, Jeremy here, partsbreakers.com, 303-666-9020. For all you guys that have been following us for the past 18 years, we appreciate it. You know what we're about. And for those of you who don't know who we are, what we're about, we sell Jeep parts, and we've been doing it on a large scale. We have 7 acres out here. Before that, I was in Erie. That yard was a 10 to 20 acre yard that we slimmed down to a quarter when I bought the business in 2014. And then before that, Wheat Ridge, of course, guys have been around a long time, know Wheat Ridge. That was a really dinky little shop, but it was where I really got my my speed, my traction in this industry, in this business. So back then we were doing a lot more shows, a lot more SEMA stuff. And then before that was my backyard. So if you ever wonder how you get a junkyard started, well, you do it just probably as you're doing it now. You just start in your backyard, and if you're nice to people, respectful, and you sell a good product, I think that's one of the biggest recipes for success at least that I've had. So now I'm gonna switch gears just a little bit here. This Jeep is more so just an overall view of a Jeep that we'd be potentially selling whole. We don't sell these whole very often, and we usually don't because there's a lot more money in parts on them. I won't get into the specific business as far as what we can part one of these out for, but it's a lot more than most people think. They are extremely hard to find parts on, specifically these early years, 97, 98, all the way up to 02. Especially when you got a 4-liter like this one that has 125K on it. So, and it's unmolested, as a lot of people like to refer to, which just means that it's factory for the most part. There's obviously a winch, some bumpers that aren't, and some side steps there that are not. There's a rear bumper as well, but by and large, this Jeep is pretty much bone stock, and it creates a really good canvas for somebody to start with if they're looking to either get into a Jeep and maybe lift it, or maybe just drive it around. I'll tell you hands down, if you're not doing serious four-wheeling, you're much better off putting money into your axles, lockers, maybe a little bit better tires, maybe a slightly bigger tire. You don't have to go too crazy. These things have such a short wheelbase that they get up in there pretty dang good pretty much anywhere you go. It's just when you get off cambers and stuff, high clearance areas, you're going to need more clearance, more tires. So, but the reason I say that is because if you ever drive a lifted Wrangler and you've never drove anything else, you almost need to drive something like this just to see, because they're so different. They're so comfortable and easy to get around and park, and they don't make noises and they don't vibrate. And then the moment you start doing that stuff to them, not all of them, but most of them, if not right away, eventually you'll start getting weird vibrations, and they don't handle very well, they don't manner very well, and yada, yada, yada. So this is, I would say, in a condition, we're gonna go with a 7 out of 10 on the outside, and really that's determined mainly from, there's a couple different shades going on in this Jeep, and I can tell you what happened. I can tell you some of what happened. We got the blue hood, which you can see this is part of my condition grades, right? Fading here. Okay, that's not really fading, but the clear coat, which was notorious in these 97, 98s, 99s, all these early Wranglers. Okay, we got a different shade door. Then we have the body and the hood, right? So this is one color here, and that was because this was a soft top model. The soft top comes with obviously a soft top and half doors. So somebody bought the hard top and then bought the doors later, and they did a pretty good job matching. This was a color was offered. So my guess from the interior panels that were on it, which was a khaki color, we're switching those over to the Spice, the early color, that it probably was off in 03 to 06, because that's when those khakis were offered. But nonetheless, that's really hard to distinguish. These two are so close, it's almost hard unless you're really looking at that. But there is a difference there. And then the last thing that would on this condition is this left front fender, which at first I thought it just had a little rust in the top of it. But what I think is happening, because that's kind of uncommon unless you're in the Midwest, East Coast, and that's super common. My guess is that this fender was hit at one time, because it's got a little bit of waviness going down here, and it's nothing in the body and nothing in the hood, so it's strictly down in this fender. And either they replaced it with something they just got a hold of, or they tried to fix it, and when they fixed it, they didn't prep that right, and that caused that to rust out. It trapped moisture. I'm sure they had moisture down in it. Did that, but by no means. So that, I mean, with a fender replacement, and if you wanted to paint it, you could. You know, but my advice is wait till we get a nice fender that matches the body. We get those in every once in a while, and we'll just put one on. And then, other than that, it's just the clear coat kind of messing with it. Tires are almost new on it. It's got a nice Ramsey winch. Factory front bumper, or no, not a factory front bumper, aftermarket front bumper. And nice, clean, straight, nothing there, right? All the lines are lining up good. Sorry, the wind literally just picked up as I started videoing this. So, aftermarket side steps. You're going to be wheeling this thing aggressively. You're probably going to want to put some rock sliders on it or something else. These are good, comfortable, you know, but they're kind of an old man step. No offense out there. I'm getting there too, so don't worry. It's super clean. You can see this fender, beautiful. No waviness, no rust, no nothing. Okay. Of course, my phone's ringing on that one. So and then windshield frame. Okay, we got one crack down the center, so you can do glass right away or wait. It's not in your view or in their view, but it is in the center. No rust in this windshield frame whatsoever. That looks beautiful, which is pretty common on these rust out, specifically in rusty areas. Again, nice clean door. And then the underside is beautiful as well. So I'll give you a quick peek. Okay, so frame beautiful. Good amount of grease buildup in here, which is really what we don't necessarily want to see, but we don't really care. And I say that because if it had a rear main or a valve cover leaking at one time, it kind of runs down and comes back. But this is all really preserved, and this is an area that maybe somebody did this coating. An engineer did own this, and they may have coated this because it is common metal on metal to rust, and you only see this stuff in these little between areas. So they might have done that to help it, to prevent it from rust there. Nice clean belly pan. Okay, axles are really clean. There's no rust on them whatsoever. No scaling. The torque pockets are clean. The tub looks great. The other side has got a little bit of torque pocket here, starting to get a little bit of surface here, just on the outside. And really this happens just from the weight of the vehicle being down on it. They eventually start collapsing these. That's just from kind of use on them, and if they're, you know, I noticed there's a brand new pair of Boston shocks on it, so maybe somebody had a rough ride and just wasn't taking care of that right away. But these are all nice and clean. It's just that one over there. And anyway, absolutely gorgeous, rust-free Jeep other than that left front fender. So I can't say it's completely rust-free, but like I said, I'd say a 7 or 8 out of 10 on that. But what makes up for that is the engine compartment, 125K manual, obviously that's awesome. But also the interior. Now, first off, where are the panels, right? They had panels on them. We have some customers, I'm not gonna go into too much, but they had bought a set of doors from us and they were looking for more of a khaki gray color. These happen to be that, which were not matching these. And actually now I can see it, see right there. So those doors have been painted. So they did a pretty good job matching. So that khaki color, which was the khaki interior panel, that's actually the khaki color of my LJ over there, which would have made it an 03 to 06 door. So anyway, nonetheless, I have a nice tan camel or spice, whatever you want to call it, panel that's going to match the dash. So you'll get that. And, you know, food for thought for anybody asking, you know, whether you love tan, some people do, or you hate tan, some people don't. The seats are beautiful. That one's got a little wear on the outside, but actually pretty good. Somebody's redone the inside, so it's kind of like this suede material, real nice, real soft and cozy seats. Actually, this carpet's all clean. Look what they did up here. This is a factory top with liner, which is incredible because they didn't come that way. Absolutely beautiful. Again, everything's kind of the tan theme. So, you know, you're wondering, maybe wondering, I want black everything. Well, we can do that. It is an involved job, just so you know. So it's basically we swapped the whole dash, and that's the most involved. Everything else is pretty easy, but this piece here, you're looking at least a day to do it right, to get all the harnesses in and out, and colors and airbags. This airbag is like bolted on to the pot. It's kind of goofy how those come apart. So don't want you to think that you can't customize, especially because the video is made specifically for a customer of ours. But anybody out there wondering, and she's got another Jeep, and I'm not going to go into the specifics on why we have two of them, or why we potentially have two of them. But in your case, Monica, this would be a good, if you wanted to ditch the color, you could. It's going to cost some labor, and it's not the funnest job to do. We'd be happy to do it. I don't want to discourage you from doing it if you're not keen on the tan. I would say because because the mileage is so low, and because it is a blank canvas and you can really build it from wherever you want from here, I still think this is going to be one of the better Jeeps that are out there right now, especially for these early ones. You can definitely get the mileage that this one has in the 03 to 06s. I see those a lot more common, but the price tag goes up significantly on those, and a lot of that's because they beefed them up a little differently. So yeah, so it's got a swing out tire carrier. I have the upright for it. And then again, same thing with the top. If you don't want that top and you want to go to a to your top, or if you want your top and your doors, and then you're going to paint the rest of it black, fine. That's no problem. That'd probably be the way to go, actually, if you are going to go that way. If you're not, you don't mind the green or the tan, then I would leave it alone. But totally up to you. And that's if you really even want to go down this road. So let me show you real quick on this side, just to give you, show you this too much. So, okay, so same thing, beautiful, same material. I'm thinking they protected that just so it's not, metal on metal. And it really, in our environment out here, this does not. They'll get a little bit of oxidation. Sometimes they'll scale a little bit, but not bad. It's really when they've spent any time on the East Coast, Midwest with salt on the road. So these long brackets here all come off. They're all bolt on. It's for these here. And then again, if you we're looking at torque pockets now. Okay, beautiful. And then this is the one on the outside that you're seeing a little bit here. And I would assume I'll break this free just to make sure. Obviously, if it broke, it wouldn't be good. We'd have to go in and repair this, but I highly suspect that's not going to happen. And then this one's beautiful, just like the other side. So, and then again, back to there. And the gas tank skid is good. Those usually rust out on ones that are out there. And then up front, nice Bilstein shocks. Again, tires are like brand new. And my hands are going to fly off here. So, all right, I think that does it for me. At least give you kind of a solid view of it. Okay, here's your seats. A little bit of snag there, just wear there. But otherwise, it's pretty clean. So, all right, I'm gonna upload this. It'll take a little bit to do, and hopefully you'll have it tonight. And then if you want to see the engine compartment real quick, for anybody who's interested, I don't know if I mentioned the mileage. I know I did, but one thing I didn't mention, I think I told her on the phone, but is it does have AC, which is awesome. If you don't want AC, we can take it off. There'll be really no reason to, especially as hot as it gets here. So I think this is the early, yeah. So these early grills are slightly different. They actually bend over to the side here. Right. Okay, so it's got an air raid, which explains why it has a little bit more pickup, because it definitely does. But everything else under here is bone stock. There's your AC compressor, and from what I understand, that was all done recently. So that should and it blows ice cold. So it's. And this video will probably make a good video for anybody that's out there if we don't end up letting this one go, or if she doesn't end up wanting this one. So if you see it and you're interested in it, you can send us a message. And she's been waiting patiently on me for a while, so I'll give her a little bit of time. But I don't want to pressure anybody into something. That's kind of how she ended up in the place she's in with her other Jeep. So. Think about it, and if you can let me know, maybe by the end of next week, I would appreciate it, and we'll go from there. All right. And again, you guys are looking out there, I don't want to get you in your head that I sell Jeeps whole, because I really do not. We really focus on parting these things. But you know, this was a special circumstance, or you know, a friend, and we try to go out of our way for that kind of stuff if it works out. So if you are looking for a tub or a frame or a piece of one of these, you know, give us a holler. Our website is a ton. It's got a lot of valuable information on it. Not everything is up there, but we have a lot up there. And who knows, I might be selling my LJ here soon. So if you're interested in an LJ Rubicon, it might be available here soon. I'm toying with the idea right now. Those are significantly more expensive, but they're probably one of the few Jeeps out there. This holds its value too, but those are just amazing. Every year they just seem to be going up and up and up and up. So, all right. Okay, talk to you later.